Hello, listeners, and welcome to another fun-filled session with the Wednesday Night Crew. Welcome to part 1 of Honey Heist, a wonderful, simple, one-page RPG brought to life by Grant Howitt. Imagine, if you will, that you are role-playing a group of bears going on their biggest heist for honey ever. You can speak broken English and pass for human with a little bit of clothes on. This was a lot of fun, and we hope you enjoy. All right, y'all. Wednesday Night Crew, welcome back for part 2 of Honey Heist. A wonderful, wonderful one-page RPG. Grant Howitt created this bad boy, and session 1 was a blast. Happy to say we've got all bears in attendance. Well, almost all bears in attendance. One bear is behind, but another bear is in their place, who came out of hibernation. So we will get to meet that bear shortly. So to bring us all up to speed, we've got BB running from the law, far enough ahead where I don't think it's easily spotted at this point. Running around the perimeter of the lake to head towards the campsite. Yogi, Snackleton, Romo, and Ray are all in the general vicinity of the honey huts by the stage on the front side of the honey huts, and behind that is the stage auction area where they are getting set up and getting ready for the Manuka honey auction, which is taking place in approximately about another hour-ish or so. So that's kind of where we're going to start. And like, I think it's important to know that one of the bears that was supposed to be with you guys completely overslept and is like way behind, running a little bit late, and you will likely see them here very shortly. But let's take a moment here to kind of reset sort of what Yogi, Romo, and Snackleton are doing, because you guys are sort of clustered together right now. Oh, perfect timing. Perfect timing by Ray.
Well, thanks for bearing with me on being late.
Hey, roll that D20.
Oh shit! I need to get my dice out.
Yeah,
we figured out what that means.
What's that?
Have we figured out what that D20 is?
I'm just using it for different random shit because I think it's funny.
All right.
So,
okay.
Pause for effect, and it's a 17.
Wonderful. I'm marking that down in your column. So to our new bear who was not here last time, if you make a bear pun, you roll a D20 and then tell me what your number is. Okay.
Nice.
But it's got to be funny. Like, it's got to make at least one person. It's got to make at least one person go.
I mean, it looks like our name is a bear pun. Look at this.
Right?
We set the bear low on this, right?
Oh.
All right. So, perfect timing, Ray. So where we are at right now is that you, Yogi, Romo, and Snackleton are kind of all clustered together. You've shared some of the last of your leftover honey with somebody. I don't remember specifically who it was. But that's where we're going to pick up. BB is scrambling through the woods around the perimeter of the lake to get over to the campsite. And the last member of your heist group just overslept. If we retro this a little bit, they overslept. They're not super prompt sometimes. And they're on the way, and they should be here momentarily. But what do you guys want to do?
So, gang, I think this is where we terrify people and just start like bearing out, right? And just steal the honey.
I do say, Romo, you have no tact in any manner when it comes to heisting. I am quite famished. Did anyone manage to procure any of those coins or bills that the humans are so fond of to swap for some delicious honey snacks?
I did get some of those, and I got this, now empty jar of honey with that. And it was delicious. So if I think plan C, kind of going into Romo's plan B, is we terrorize people to give us the money. This is just, and I don't know, this might be a crazy idea that I just thought of, but we take their money to pay for these goods. I mean, this is genius. I mean, this is like a new way of heisting, if you ask me. You attack the people to get money. I think I just invented this.
Do we just attack the people to get honey instead of money? Like, I want
as you
honey,
guys
not
are,
money.
yeah, as you guys are having this discussion, like there's just random like HoneyCon attendees walking by, and like they're like, oh, so you hear some voices muttering like very quietly, like oh, I guess they'll just let anybody in here, and like just making kind of random comments that aren't exactly very, very pleasant about you guys a little bit. Just a couple people. And then you see some people walking by in like, they look like you guys. They look like bears. But they are, you see that like they have like a furry like hoodie with ears on it. But you can see their human face, and they have like, so it's basically they're wearing like, it looks like they're almost like wearing the skin of a bear, but you can see their human face. So that's a little bit unsettling to some of you.
Oh, these sickos.
And it's at that point, as you're talking through this, that your bear who was behind schedule is encroaching upon the outskirts of the camp, and they come sort of strolling in. So Emily, why don't you take a moment to introduce us to your bear, please?
All right, so you guys see a polar bear wearing a cowboy hat, and she's got some sweet cowboy boots to go with it. We got little sunflowers on them, and a nice little vest, one of those cowboy vests, whatever. And she's just sauntering in, has a little piece of straw out of her mouth, and she is a washed up hacker.
Nice.
And then
that's going around.
And her name is you call her Bear Lee there. Made myself laugh. Does that count? Anyway.
Yeah.
roll a d20 for that, please.
19.
Ooh, wonderful.
Nice.
And just like your namesake, barely there for the heist.
So sorry, continue before I say what I was going to say.
She just saunters up to the group like, hey guys, sorry I'm late. Sleeping is so good. How's the plan going?
Can we please say that you have chaps on? Can we?
Yes, please? Yes, chaps.
Thank
That's
you.
the name.
Wonderful.
I couldn't remember what those were called.
Great.
Yes.
That is great. Okay, perfect.
Complete the outfit.
Yeah. Yep. So you're checking in, like, what's the plan? What's happening?
How's it hanging?
Oh, Lee, thankfully you are here. I hope you can knock some sense into these others. They seem to just want to scare the humans, and they have no desire to do any actual heisting, it would seem. Please say that you have helped think of a plan. I am a rookie. Never done this before.
I don't know, man. Sometimes you put so much effort into a plan and it just falls apart anyways.
That's something that someone washed up would say. That's what a washed up loser would say. So Ray, you rolled a 17, correct, on your last pun roll?
Yeah, it's true.
So you find as you're just kind of thinking through like your grand idea, and you're kind of looking and sort of frantically like glancing all over the place, and you see some of that paper money on the ground by your foot. And you find $17.
Well, lo and behold, what I just found. See, this is what I keep telling you, everybody. You just got to visualize things and they happen. You want cash money? Here's cash money. It's money, honey. For honey money.
Ray, I implore you to buy some snacks and please share with the sweet bills that have graced your presence. I desperately desire snacks.
The most immediate stand near you, Ray, is one that is called Belicious Treats.
This one seems like there would be mostly bees. I don't want bees. I don't want. I'm not looking to buy bees. Let's find something with honey.
And there's one next to it. There's one on either side of it. One's called Honeycomb Haven and one's called Sweet Nectar.
Sweet Nectar it is. That's what I'm looking for.
All right.
I give I'm pretty, feeling pretty good about, feeling pretty full after getting my jar of honey. So I'll slap Snackleton some of the cash. Be like, there you go. You're the leader, right? So you're the brains, man. So I'm gonna keep your brains going. You need some snackage. Here you go. Go get yourself some honey. Come back. We got to figure this out because we got to get. I imagine they're going to give that stuff away, and if they're not giving it to us, we got to figure out how we're getting that stuff. All right. We got the boat, right?
Yes.
What are we doing? Yes, we have procured the water transport. We held up our end of the bargain.
And I hacked the other boats with my hacker skills. So there's nobody's gonna be following us. So we got that going on. So now it's just a matter of getting that honey. So here, get yourself a little snack. Don't go crazy as he just starts licking his lips where there's honey is that already on his maw, and don't get out of hand here. All right, we got to keep focused. And I look into my jar, see if there's any bit of honey left, but there isn't. And I just toss it to the side like a bear would.
Well, Snackleton's gonna take his money and approach the nearest stand here, and wearing a bathrobe that's just completely undone in the front and a top hat, like a small child.
Are you ready? Because you're a honey badger.
I'm a honey badger, so I'm quite small.
We need to reiterate that. Yes.
Yes.
So this is dragging behind you like a almost like a what is it, like a wedding dress train or something, right?
Very close to that. Yes.
Yeah. Do you go to Sweet Nectar?
Yeah, I'll go to Sweet Nectar.
Okay. So as you walk up, all of you hear this crackling announcement over the speaker system on the campsite, and a voice comes on and says auction will begin in 45 minutes, everyone. Please make sure you get good seats and get your auction signs and get ready to place your bids. We have some wonderful things, and the star of the show is our Manuka honey. And then the voice goes away. So you head up to the booth, and someone behind there, a very lovely young lady, dressed in some knockoff Ren Fair type, tunic top and stuff, and she's like, and she looks down at you, and she's like, "Why, hello there." I
crawl my way up to the to the top of the table.
She's like, "Oh, well, hi, oh, hi." And she kind of backs up a little bit and kind of checks herself. And she's like, how can I help you, young man?
I hold out the money and aggressively jump up and down on the table and just say, "Honey pop, honey pop, honey pop."
She's like, "Oh, kids are they're just something. Okay, sure. Yeah." And then she's like, "Can I take some of the money, please? Is that okay?"
I make her physically drag the bills out of my paws.
She says, "How many would you like?"
Honey pops.
Oh, so you would like as many as you can get for this the money that you
honey
have?
Honey pops.
Okay. So she takes your money and then she gives you and what exactly are these honey pops? Are they going to be like?
I imagine they're like
honey,
suckers or
like
lollipops.
Honey. Okay. Okay, yeah. So she gives you $2 back, and she gives you like three nicely sized suckers that smell of honey, and then she gives you four honey sticks that are decent size. They're they're a little bit thicker than like a pixie stick, so they're thicker than a regular honey stick would be, but they're not like super long. So it's just a nice couple shots of honey in a tube. And that's what she gives you. And she says, well, there you go. Be careful and have fun.
I jump off the table and scamper back to everyone else and jam one of the lollipops in my face and just aggressively chew on it as pieces fly everywhere. And I toss the rest up to just in general to everyone and say, get your sugar up, everyone. We are going to we will use this nourishment to figure out our plan for the heist. This is our brain food as he rolls onto his back and chomps on this pop a little bit.
So on that note, I need you to move 1 point from criminal into bear because you ate honey. Ray has already eaten honey, so you already did your movement. Who else is eating honey?
Oh, I need breakfast,
Yeah. Okay. So are you having a honey pop too?
Definitely.
I'm awfully close to bear, so I better not eat any honey.
Okay. So then
Yogi,
Lee,
go ahead.
1 sec, Yogi. Lee, I'm going to need you to move 1 point from. Your stats start at 3 in criminal and in bear. So you're going to move 1 point from criminal into bear.
Okay.
So criminal goes down 1, bear goes up 1.
So criminal will be 2 and bear is 4. Okay.
Yep.
Got it.
For now. So if you hit 6, you go full bear. If you hit in bear, if you hit 6 in criminal, you go full criminal.
Oh man.
And you betray the group.
I would never.
That's the deal. That's how it goes. Feel free to hold that to your chest if you like. You can surprise me if you want. If you hit a 6 in either and you want to start doing either some shady criminal stuff to your fellow bears, or you want to do some crazy bear shit, and then that gives me the indication that you've gone full bear. So nice. You're eating honey, and Yogi, I'm assuming you as well.
So Yogi grabs one of the pops that, if it was described quite like a lollipop, he just puts it in his mouth. Oh yeah, and chomps down on it with his broken canine. And as in English he goes, oh, but that actually comes out as a pretty loud roar as a polar bear.
Okay. You see some people that are milling about, kind of look up and look around, did you hear that? That sounded almost like a bear. What the heck? But nobody comes over to see what's going on. Move 1 point in from criminal into bear, please.
All right.
Now, anybody that is encroaching towards full bear and want to manage that appropriately, they can leverage a flashback if they choose to. And whether it be flashback, Family Guy cutaway scene type shit, I don't care. However you want to frame it, and then you'll be able to move a point from. You'll have to just share that with everyone, and then you can move a point from bear into criminal if you want to keep things at a manageable level. Because the goal here is to do the heist, ideally, not to turn full bear and not to turn full criminal. I just want to be clear. Although that's going to be really funny that happens. The goal here is to complete the heist. So,
Romo like a bear pop or honey pop. I mean,
okay. The honey pops are gone because there was only 3, but there are some honey sticks.
Romo's getting upset.
wouldn't like Rommel when he's angry.
I'm Grizzly. I should have a honey pop. I'm the biggest one here.
Second biggest.
Who's got
little Snackleton? Little Snackleton, what do you say about that?
He's rolling on the ground with like half-eaten honey pop in his face and just goes, "We can have a honey stick."
Fine, give me a honey stick.
I toss one up to him and
I swallow it whole. that didn't do much.
Here, have another. We had a few.
Move 1 point from criminal into bear.
If we're gonna do this heist, I better go to the bathroom. I get too excited when the heist comes. Let me see if I can find somewhere to go. I would like to approach any human that looks like they're like working at the camp. So not a patron, but any sort of volunteer or worker.
You see somebody in some green shorts and like kind of a beige shirt with like a whistle and a like a lanyard around their neck with like a little badge, like a little ID badge. And they're just kind of like tidying stuff out. They're like grabbing some trash bags and emptying garbage cans and like putting it in a trolley, right, and putting new bags in. So they're changing out garbages and stuff.
So I say in what I think is English, I need to find the restrooms, but it comes out, "Me shit in woods, me shit in woods."
The person goes,
"Me shit in woods."
That's kind of weird, sir. We have, and he's like kind of looks up at you, right? Because you're pretty big, pretty tall. Looks up at you. He's like, sir, we have some bathrooms. They're just right over here. And he points just around the corner by the activity cabins where you see some signage that says men's room, men's, women's bathrooms.
I say thank you, but it comes out as sort of like a grizzly roar.
He's like, oh man, these honeycons get weirder and weirder every year. And he's just like hurriedly grabbing the garbage and stuff and trying to get out and trying to get done and leave and go on about his next thing. So you're heading to a bathroom. Is that what's happening?
Yes.
Okay. So you're heading to whatever, BB, let's go to you. So you are finally at just hitting the perimeter of the woods where you can now see that you're merely like 50, 60 feet away from the campgrounds.
Oh, is that all?
Yep.
I should have at least a squad of rangers with tranq guns chasing me or trying to figure out where I'm going.
You would think, but we'll address that momentarily.
All right. What I'm going to try is I'm going to sprint as a bear into the camp. And one of the cabins near the beach should be a changing room for
sure. We'll say that. Yeah. That sounds fine.
What I imagine happens is that I run in one door as a bear with my clothes and my hats in my mouth. And all the humans run out the other door screaming. And then shortly after, I run out with my shirt and hats on my head, the fez slightly crumpled.
Could you roll criminal for me, please?
I'd rather roll bear. Okay.
And yeah, but you're trying to like disguise yourself and all that stuff. This feels very criminal by design. So Emily, any roll you make on criminal or bear,
I got a 3. That makes it.
Needs to be under whatever that stat number is for you to pass. Just so you know.
Nice.
Okay.
So having made the criminal roll, do I add 1 to the roll? Am I now at a 4 criminal? Or did I misunderstand it?
We're not doing that. We're not doing it that way.
Okay.
We're taking little liberties with it where we're saying, so if a plan fails or you run into difficulty, 1 point is moved from criminal into bear. If your plan goes without a hitch, 1 point is moved from bear into criminal. But that's like for actual like chunks of like
actual plans.
Like, yeah, like you just going in and running and changing is just a quick stat check.
Yeah, so that doesn't do anything then, unless I failed.
Yes, if you failed, then it would be different.
Okay, I run out the other side and I'm yelling to the people, I guess we're going to plan C, but it sounds like, look out, carnage. So people think there's a rat and there is now a man-eating bear on the loose somewhere.
Okay. So yeah, as you come out, and you say that, like a handful of people run, like they hear you and they run around like, oh, and they raise their hands up and they just start to run away. And they're you hear them like, there's a bear. And some people are like running around. And then it's at this point that, you see a ranger come like storming into the campsite from the woods, and looking around and is like, where'd that freaking bear go? I don't see a bear. I don't see any. I just see these weird furries. I don't see any bears. Where the hell that bear? Hey, did you see the bear? And he's trying to stop people, right? To say, to try to locate you, BB, but you were able to conceal yourself quickly and disguise yourself quickly enough. So
I would like to respond to him when he asked where the bear went. I'm going to say, I think the bear headed towards the midway. Is there a midway here at the fairgrounds? These are not fairgrounds. This is just a campground.
No, it's like a campground, but like a larger campsite. But there's like, it's more like it's like festival tent things, right?
Right. So I'm going to say, I think you went to the big tent in the center. Only it comes out like, oh.
he just like, and just kind of like, just kind of stumbles around, well, not like stomping around, trying to look and see if he can find any bears. And yeah, so BB, you see the rest of the gang on the southern side of the honey huts, and you see everybody except Romo, but you see everybody else. You see Snackleton still like laying on the ground, rolling back and forth, finishing off a snack. And everybody's just there. So you are now back with the group.
Well, I don't know if they've noticed that there's been a disturbance, but I mentioned that they think there's a man-eating bear on the loose. And wait, first, I got to do this. I see Yogi there and I say, hey, Yogi, what's up? And then I say,
hey, baby. And we do like a sweet handshake. Hey, baby.
They think there's a man-eating bear on the premises, so there's going to be chaos during this attempted auction. Maybe they'll call it off. Have you figured out where the honey is?
Yeah, the honey's in one of these cabins. So no, I haven't figured it out, but it's over there.
But the Rangers, we could, tell them we saw the bear and it's going down river or lake. We're on a lake, right? Lake.
Yeah.
Went swim across the bank.
Let me take a second, slide over to Romo. Romo, what are you doing?
I have used the restroom, and I just sort of want to roam around and like stick my head into some of these cabins that are over here.
Okay. So as you go to do that, can we say that you like trash the bathroom though? Like the stalls and stuff?
Of course, yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
I wrecked that place.
So as you leave, you see another employee go in with a little cart with like cleaning supplies and stuff, and you hear this muffled voice like, "Oh shit!" And they're like just like freaking out like at the atrocity that you left behind. And you're heading, so you're popping your head into the activity cabins, and like you open the door and you pop your head in one of the cabins, and it's like you see like a bunch of people like are playing, they're sitting around a table, and like somebody's like, everybody's got like some dice and they're rolling dice, and the one person's like, yeah, and I'm gonna say to the cop, I'm gonna say, hey, the bad guy went that way, but in reality it comes out like the bad guy. So they're playing some sort of game where they're talking about pretending to be bears.
Shit's getting meta.
In this cabin. Right?
I say in my regular voice, nerds, and then it comes out in their English version is nerds.
And you see somebody turn around with like braces, and you're like, hey man, oh, never mind. And they turn back around and roll their dice and keep playing the game. So that's the thing you see as you're starting to poke your head in. And you hear an announcement come over the speaker and says, oh, 30 minutes till the auction. 30 minutes. You see the seats starting to fill up you see seats filling up in front of the stage with people.
I want to be, knowing that I'm the driver, I want to be like behind the stage, between the stage and wherever our boat is.
We should look at the stage if that's where they're going to put the honey. It looks like it's close to the boats. If we can manage to run off quickly, we might be able to just skirt it onto the boat. So I guess that Yogi is that's what Hay's gonna do. He's gonna go inspect the back of the stage, just as his split.
So I'll see Yogi back there. Yes.
Yeah, so you go back there and you see Romo back there. So you guys reconnect. What are the rest of you doing? Lee, did you finish your honey? What's going on? What are you
she's smacking her lips.
Yeah, what are you and the rest of the gang doing?
Delicious. So are we supposed to pick up like one of those wooden paddle things? So like I see a bunch of humans going to grab those. That might be fun. If she walks over to where they're handing them out.
Okay. So you saunter over, and there's a person at the table. It's like, oh, are you interested in the auction?
Yes.
She says, well, so okay, well, gosh, that's just great. There's been so many participants. And then she hands you a paddle. She's like, please, dear, I love your hat. Please go sit down, get yourself comfortable, and I hope you brought your thick pocketbook, because we got some expensive stuff on the stage today for the first time, and I can't even tell you how long.
Lots of money. Thank you.
So you go, and you have as you say, lots of money, and you start to walk away. You start walking, and you look down on the ground, and you notice a small little, like something green. It looks like human paper money stuff.
I pick it up.
It's a $20 bill.
Nice.
I just gave you an extra one since you rolled a 19. So you got a $20 bill. So that's what you find. So you're heading to sit in the seats. What else is going on? Snaggleton, and BB and Ray. What are you guys doing?
Where is the tent? Is this a tent that we're at that has a microphone that they're doing the call outs over the PA?
That's on. Oh no, you don't know where that's happening. You don't know where the announcements are coming from.
How much time do we have left? Less than 15 minutes.
30.
No, it was a 30-minute announcement.
It was a 30-minute announcement.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And there might be other things to auction before the main course. Snackleton, having finally finished his honey pop, and gets up and wanders over to the seeing as like everyone else left him to go do various other things. He's gonna head over and just start climbing up to cabin windows and looking in to try to find out if he can identify the one that is hosting the honey.
Okay. So you start with the first one, you climb and you look in the window and you don't see anything. So you're just going down the line. We'll come back to you in a moment. Ray, I'd like to go to you for a moment. So you're scoping stuff out, kind of seeing what's going on. Everybody's sort of splintering off, but you notice 4 people, walking like together in a cluster, looking a little bit awkward. And all of them have like green wide brimmed hats on. Basically out of game, they all look like they're dressed like they are park rangers. That's the outfits you're seeing.
Gotcha.
But like, this is going to be more for the sake of observation. Why don't you roll bear for me? You will not be penalized if you fail.
All right, rolling on bear. Should do all right because I roll a 6 against a 5, so I guess not.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. You just find it strange that there's 4 of these people dressed all the same, walking in a group. That's all you really notice.
Oh.
And they're heading towards the seats in front of the stage. And they're heading towards where Lee is sitting.
This gives me a flashback to that time, that the last time we tried to make a well-to-do honey heist. And I recall that we were about to succeed in stealing the clover honey, which was, this new big deal of honey. But then these guys with these hats came through and they grabbed the honey and they left and they shooed the bears away. They didn't use any tranquilizer darts or anything like that because they wanted to let the bears have natural, but they did bang trash cans, look bigger than themselves, and just generally gave us a good scare, as if like, what do these humans seem to know that we're dangerous and bad? So I know enough to leave that these guys are trouble, is what I guess is what my flashback is coming to.
Okay. Why don't you take away 1 bear?
I am taking away 1 bear. And I'm looking around. I look around to see if any of my other fellow bears are around, because I got to tell them that things are not going to be as easy as we think. Not that things are easy at all right now, but
yeah. And you're taking away 1 bear and putting it into criminal, just to be clear.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So then, yeah, you're right by some of your cohorts, right, that are still around, I think. So who's left around you right now? BB?
I think Snackleton's there, right? Oh no, you were looking at campsites. So
yeah,
probably
he's looking at cabins.
Yeah, so BB, like just BB. Hats. Not our hats, which are cool, but lame hats, those guys.
Yeah, sorry, I kind of led those guys here. I was on the run. Yeah, those guys are bad news.
Absolutely. They might mess up with our chances. What are we going to do about these guys?
I was hoping that they would be a little more like add to the chaos, and in the chaos we can do our thing. But they don't seem to be bothering anyone. They're trying to not to incite a panic about a man-eating bear. So I guess that's not working for us.
We got to get them out of here is what I'm thinking.
Okay, well, I did my part by leading them here. Somebody else. It's somebody else's turn to lead them somewhere else.
Each one of them goes and grabs a paddle and sits down nearby Lee. Lee, why don't you roll a bear check for me?
Great. That is a 2 against.
All right, so you rolled under, right?
Yep.
Great. So you see one of them takes their hat off for a second, and you recognize that it is a rival bear of yours.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's Lotso. And you know Lotso's a problem. Lotso has always gotten the best of you, and he turns and looks at you and kind of sneers. So he's like kind of like a dingy, just like a freaking dingy brown bear. And he's just like, hey, Lee, loser.
Oh. I stick my tongue out at him.
You think you're going to get this? You think you're going to get this, Manuka? You're not getting shit. And he puts his hat back down.
My team's going to win this time. You'll see.
Just stares forward. And when you start talking to him, he just holds his paddle out at your face just like chuckling to himself. And then you hear when he does that, you look, and another one that's next to him leans forward and like turns and looks at you, and the hat sort of starts to fall off the head onto the floor. And it's another brown bear. This one goes, oh man. He's like, oh, waka waka, and he grabs the hat and puts it back on his head, kind of tilted a little bit, like it's a little bit too small for his head, but it's working. Yeah.
Nice.
That's what happens to you. And they're all eagerly sitting there with their paddles, like kind of like just excited, like kind of bouncing a little bit. And we're going to go to Snackleton. Snackleton, you are now at this cabin in the upper section that is closest to the stage area, and you hop up and you look in the window, and it's like if it was like a cartoon, it'd be like, oh, and a chorus of angels would be singing as you look in, and you see a person in a suit grabbing this briefcase, and then they proceed to take out like these cuffs and cuff the briefcase to their wrist and to the briefcase handle, and they go to take it and walk like they're heading out of the cabin. So Snackleton, that's what you see.
How would Snackleton react? Snackleton's going to knock at the door as this person approaches. Go over to the door and knock at it.
You hear a muffled voice say, "Oh, whoa, one, oh, hey, hang on." I would like, so BB and Ray, I kind of want you, and like, so Romo and Yogi, I want you to think about the actions you're going to prepare, and same with BB and Ray, because we're going to, once the Snackleton thing happens, we're going to just kind of go around the horn here.
Sorry, so, what was Snackleton doing? Sorry,
Snackleton is knocking on the door of a cabin that he saw somebody in a suit cuffing a briefcase to their wrist.
Got it. And Has Lee informed us of the Lotso and his, okay.
Nope. So, because that's happening too far out of your, like, you failed your bear check.
Right.
You failed your bear stat. So you weren't able to, their disguises were too slick even for you.
I know that Rangers are bad news, but that's all.
Yes. Yeah. Got so it. you're all in that these are Rangers, and that's a problem for you.
Gotcha.
It's your concern for different reasons. So yeah. So Snaggleton, you knock on the door, and then finally this person opens the door, and it's a person, and it's a considerably taller than you, like kind of muscly guy with like really short haircut, sunglasses, and a suit on, and you see like he's kind of like his one arm is sort of off, almost behind his back a little bit, and you can kind of see you can make out a briefcase that he's like trying to hide poorly.
Snaggleton is going to try to dash past him into the cabin, and once there, he is going to look for anything that's not bolted down that he might be able to start clawing and ripping off. Even if it's like loosely connected to the walls, if it's curtains, any of that, he wants to just get in there and make a ruckus, because he's panicking a little bit.
Does this feel like a? Is this with the intent to distract, or is this like you're just freaking out?
No, he's going in there. It's an attempt to distract and make this guy not leave the cabin, I suppose. Okay. That's sort of the goal. And just to confuse him, I look like a small child. I'm just going to start destroying the inside of this cabin.
Okay. Roll criminal, please.
Oh, that's a 5 on the dice. I know I'm not that high in criminal. No, my criminal is 2. I rolled a 5, so that is
okay. So you're gonna raise your criminal up 1.
Okay.
Or wait, sorry, no. Move your criminal into bear, please.
Oh no. Okay. We're gonna have to do a flashback here real soon.
Yeah. So you are freaking out, but it's not coming across the way you hoped. And the guy's like, "What the fuck?" And he's just like. And he says this, and he just kind of like, he's like, "Man, screw it." He's like, "God, this place is freaking weird." And he just leaves the cabin and closes the door behind him, leaving you to freak out.
I watch him leave, and for a moment, I'm panicked that I might be stuck in this cabin.
And then, it's at that point that Ray and BB, you see. Actually, no, you're too far away because you're more towards the south. So yeah, so Ray and BB, what are you guys doing?
We didn't see where Snaggleton went. We knew he was looking for the cabin with the honey.
You saw him went in the direction of the cabins. Yeah, you saw that.
Okay, so my point is that we had not seen that he went into this cabin, that this guy came out. And you said we're too far away to see this guy with a briefcase.
Yes. Sorry, I meant to say you saw him go, not you saw him. But, you saw him go, and because you guys are down towards the southern part, right? Yeah. So like, you're at the bottom end here, to where the tents are, festival tents, and you just saw Snaggleton kind of go up this path, looking in cabins. That were within your pet. Within your.
I'm thinking that it's getting close to auction time, and it would probably be easier for us to intercept whoever's the courier. So maybe we ought to start heading towards the auction grounds and see what's happening.
Right. I'm thinking though. Here's what I'm thinking. We don't even let that honey get to the auction grounds.
Yeah, we got to intercept the guy somehow.
Yeah, we get behind the stage because you got to have a big reveal for that shit, right?
Right.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking we go back behind the stage. We let people auction all they want to, but while they're auctioning, we've kidnapped, we've gagged, whatever we did to get that honey, we're on the boat by the time that stuff is supposed to roll onto the stage, right? We're already gone. That's what I'm thinking.
That's a good idea. And if we're too late, I could use my washed up hacker skills to find the cord for the PA microphone and yank it out so they can't start the auction.
And between me and my unhinged hacker skills, we can make that happen.
And we got this baggie of cocaine. If it really, really goes wrong, we could just...
We better bump that now so we got the energy.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, I definitely wanted to bring back the potential of the cocaine bear.
The fact that there's cocaine.
That's the only reason it's here.
It's Chekhov's cocaine.
Yogi, you're not with those guys. You're in a different spot.
I said it was... Well, I was confused by that because Yogi was attempting to go behind the stage and under.
Correct.
That's where Romo.
Okay. Oh, so you were just
Romo's back there.
It.
So you're connecting with Romo, so which we're going to go to you now as you guys are.
My apologies. Thank you.
You're fine. As Ray and BB, you guys have your plan. So you're going to head towards the back of the stage, right?
Yeah, I think our best plan then is to intercept the honey before it even gets to stage, take off while the bidding's going on.
Okay. So you sort of walk up and you're heading in that direction, and Romo and Yogi, you're in the back. What's going on?
Hey, Yogi.
Romo.
I don't know about you, man, but I've had a pretty busy morning driving a golf cart, driving a boat. I think I might.
Hysterical.
I think I might need a little nap, and under the stage looks like a good little. It's almost like a cave, It's dark under there. And since you guys don't need me until it's time to drive the boat away, and no one likes my plan of terrifying and just scaring the shit out of these people, I'm just going to sleep for a while. And you guys,
it's a good plan.
Yeah. You guys, let me know when you need my skills, because I got a certain set of skills that I can bring to bear if necessary.
Yeah.
Roll a d20, please.
4. And really, just a reminder, Yogi, my set of skills is driving, so I could drive the boat. But I'm a fucking grizzly bear. I can scare the shit out of these humans. And again, that Snackleton guy seems pretty smart, but he's a little wet behind the ears. I say we just scare the shit out of these people. But if we get to whatever plan we're at, plan D, E, F, whatever my plan is, let me know and I'll implement it.
Grizzly bear, yeah, that's nice. He flexes to remind Romo that he is a polar bear. Yeah, we'll let you know if we need somebody to scare somebody after I've already scared them.
Romo, what's your bear stat number currently?
3.
Is it? Okay. All right. Thank you.
I'll join you under the stage. I see there's a table up there. I assume that's where they're going to put the manuka. So, a lot of these, this camp's been around for a while. These beams, they're not doing so great. I just kind of want to maybe take a look, find a soft spot under here. And he'll spend his turn or whatever remainder near Romo, and he's going to kind of go to the center of the stage where he thinks that they're going to place the heavy auction item and see if he can kind of knock down some of the support beams underneath it with his polar bear strength.
Okay. So first of all, we'll start with Romo. So you're going under different sections of the stage, I assume then, right?
Yeah.
And Romo, you lift up the little flap that's on covering, that's hanging off the back of the stage to go underneath there. And you notice there's a couple green barrels laying on their side.
Okay.
And they appear to maybe be empty. But they are green and they have an interesting design on them, and it's like a skull. It's like a skull and crossbones, small like little stamp on each of the barrels.
Now that I think about it, Yogi, this might not be the best place to hang out. What was that company that's running this thing? Didn't they do like gases and shit?
Yeah, that
poison.
Sound like something we didn't want to be a part of.
Yeah, take a look at this. I've seen that symbol before, and it's never good news.
And then Yogi, you actually see the same thing underneath on your side as well. As you both are discovering this, Ray and BB join you in the back and see you guys back there.
Oh, hey. Well, shit. It's you guys.
Ray.
Yeah. It's all coming together, huh?
I think so. Maybe. I don't know. I have no idea.
At least we're coming together. Where's Lee and Snackleton?
Yeah, where's the brains?
Yeah. Snackleton, what are you doing? You're in the cabin still. What are you doing?
So Snackleton realizes that being too small to open doors, he's not going to necessarily be able to get out of here the way he came in. And at this point, he digs into his brain to try to figure out how he can get in and out of buildings without doors. And this is where it flashes back to a previous experience that he had doing this, as the scene from earlier in the day when he got thrown through a window by Romo comes into play, and he remembers action rolling through the window and the broken glass everywhere, and he tries to capture that essence as he climbs onto a counter and attempts to jump out the kitchen window of this cabin.
So you flash back. So does that takes your 1 point from bear into criminal?
Yes.
And then I would like you to roll criminal, please.
Oh, yes. I rolled a 2. I had a 2, so it worked.
Yep. So you're like, and you run and you jump and you curl up and you just sort of tuck your head down and you crash through the window and you sort of unfurl as you hit the ground, and you can see in the distance near the steps going to near the stage and the steps, you see the person with the briefcase starting to slowly walk behind the back of the stage, or getting towards behind the back of the stage, where little do you know that almost the rest of the gang is there.
Oh, I'm essentially not quite charging at him, but I'm moving quickly towards him and trying to not give away my position too much, although I did just come crashing out of a window.
So yeah, so as you,
and I'm not to blame this time.
So as you do that, there's like somebody comes running behind, like maybe like half a minute later, like, I thought I heard something. Oh my God, what happened? And it's another camp employee, and they're like trying to assess the situation, and they're like kind of like freaking out a little bit, like, oh, like what the heck? But obviously they can't tell because you're in disguise, so they can't tell. You're just a little kid running, doing whatever you're gonna do, and doing whatever kids do. And so they're addressing that, and you're heading in the direction of the guy with the briefcase. We're going to cut to the stage where the first item is up for auction, and you hear an announcer go, "All right, we have some artisanal honey. Can we start it's a 1 gallon bucket. Can we start the bidding at $200? 200? Do I hear 200?" And he starts doing this auction. And Lee, you see next to you see Lotso raise his paddle for 200.
Oh, well, then I raised mine.
And then
I don't know what that means.
The announcer's like, oh, we got 200 here. Do I hear 220? 220. And is that when you raise it?
Yeah, that's when I raise it.
Okay. And Lotso kind of leans back a little bit and like looks over at you and like,
oh no.
Where did you get that kind of money from? And then he's like, do I hear 240, 240? And then he raises his paddle again and he glares at you. Do I hear 260, 260? Anyone, 260?
I raise it and glare back at him.
And he's like, and he just kind of looks at you and he like kind of flashes and gnarls his teeth a little bit in like this weird, like part threatening, part smile kind of vibe. It's kind of hard to really decipher it. And he raises his paddle again. It's like 280, do I hear 280? He raises it. And I was like, 300, do I hear 300?
I look down at my $20 bill. I'm like, I don't think there's a 3 on this. I'm out. I don't say that though. I just glare at him. And I like wink. Like a bear.
Bear wink. And he just looks at you and he's like, just as I thought. And then he's like, so to the park ranger in the front. We'll keep that off to the side for you. And then like Lotso just kind of like addresses him with his paddle a little bit. And then they start going up to the next item up for bids and that. So that kind of scene is still playing out. Now we are back to everybody. So BB, Romo, Ray, Yogi, all of you are behind the stage. Ray's greeted everybody too.
Where's the freaking honey, man? We gotta grab. So I'm thinking, once they bring out that Manuka, that sweet Manuka, we grab it and we go. I don't know what like. If they have hats, we take their hats. One of us take their hats. We need to get our hands on some fake honey. Is what we need.
Fake honey.
We say that in between that little break, we also showed Ray and BB the poison barrels under the stage.
Agreed. We told them
about... there's poison barrels underneath the stage, is what I'm hearing.
Yes, that's true. I think that company put some gas under here. It seems pretty stupid to have it near all that sweet honey, but here's where we are.
That doesn't make any sense to me, and I don't know what to do with that information.
I think this is where we need to terrify somebody and get the honey.
Okay, I'm not the brains, but...
Where are the brains? Where are they?
It doesn't matter.
Isn't it supposed to be...
No, but
Snackleton's supposed to be the smart one.
Listen,
but I'm wondering if there's not going to be,
right?
if there's not going to be an auction. Suppose that they just like say that there's honey, the auction goes off, they collect all the money, and instead of like turning over non-existent Manuka honey, they just gas everybody and run off. Because, that's evil corp.
That's pretty evil, but how does that get us honey?
That doesn't. Why don't we concentrate on the stuff that is being auctioned now?
Wait a minute. Is there not honey? Is there not sweet Manuka?
I just heard that they sold a gallon of artisanal honey. So there is honey. I just don't know if there's Manuka like they said.
I'm just saying, if there's no sweet Manuka, then
wait.
Then Romo's plan of terrorizing and cutting people up is making a lot more sense because I'm getting angry.
A gallon of honey. I had 2 sticks. That's like a teaspoonful. Why don't we just take the gallon of honey? That'd be enough for all of us, right? Or at least a lot for me.
Who's this guy in the suit and the handcuff? What's he coming up here for?
What?
What?
No, you don't see him yet. Nice try.
Oh, he hasn't come yet.
Not yet. Not just yet. So when you say the bucket thing, Romo, you see somebody walk down the stairs on the other side of the stage, close to the activity cabins, and they're taking a right, and they're going to bring their bucket behind the stage, and they see all y'all misfits back there, and you're like, oh, you're not supposed to be back here.
I turn to whoever's closest to me, and in a stage whisper say, Plan D. And then I turn around to the guy who said, you're not supposed to be back here. And I say, fine, sir, do you have honey in there? But it comes out as, and I try to terrify this guy.
Okay. Roll bear.
Roll bear. I succeeded. A 1 out of 3 or less.
Okay. So you're like all in bear, roar, and like your hat comes off for a minute, and like he just sees the raging bear, and he's like, holy shit, oh my god. And he drops the bucket onto the table, and then he just runs off, like he's just in shock, like face white, freaked out, and just runs away.
I look at the bucket.
Well, it's sealed.
I open the bucket.
Okay. It is full of the most pristine amber colored honey. It's amazing.
Let's go to the boat, guys.
That's not the Manuka, though. That's just some random ass, really good honey, but that's not what we're here for.
You might have champagne taste, but I'm a bear on a beer budget. This is good for me.
That freaking unhinged Romo.
There's no reason. There's no reason not to be greedy. Nothing's happened yet. So that's our backup. That bucket of honey is our consolation prize. Let's see if we can get the grand prize first before we flee.
That was pretty easy. To have the guy come with the Manuka, I'll do the same thing.
Honestly, Romo's plan is getting better every second.
So as you're kind of talking about this real quick, Lee, other things have been getting auctioned off, and you see out of the corner of your eye, to your right, you see a guy in a suit walking with a briefcase, walking around the back of the stage, and actually he's walking towards the stairs, and at the same time you see behind that guy, like running with their little stubby legs, you see Snaggleton running after this guy in the suit, and then you see 2 of the 4 ranger hat, you assume they're all bears, ranger hats, 2 of them stand up really quick and start briskly walking towards that situation.
Oh, I'm not letting them get away from me. I hop up and start sauntering after them.
I would like you to roll criminal for me, please. I'll tell you why afterwards.
All right. I failed. I got a 3. That was over.
Okay. You're going to move 1 point from criminal into bear, please.
All right.
And and Lotso trips you. You like trip and you fall.
Oh, that son of a bitch.
Oh, man.
That is so Lotso.
So it's kind of delaying you from getting over there.
I hate that guy.
I knew I should have joined his gang when he asked me.
And he just goes, why don't you just sit back down there, pretty lady, and mind your business?
Lotso's gang is low tech, though. It wouldn't need hackers like us.
Yeah.
And he's just a tad misogynistic too, so that makes it even better.
I say never, and then get back up.
Okay, so you're heading over there.
Yep.
Snaggleton, you are the guy with the briefcase is heading up the stairs on the side of the stage.
Do I see everyone else behind the stage at this point?
You can catch a glimpse of we'll say it's Yogi's backside.
It's pretty big. It's unmistakable. Yeah. Chiseled though.
So you know it's Yogi. You know at least Yogi's back there.
I call out and just go, Yogi. This is the guy. It's the guy with the honey. Oh, there. He's going on stage.
Any humans in the vicinity would be hearing things like, Yogi, honey stage, Yogi, guy stage, yo, honey, like broken.
Yeah. So I assume the other three of us around also hear this.
Yeah.
And out of game, are we finishing this tonight?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Most assuredly we are.
Okay. Carnage it is then.
He goes,
yes, we are finishing this.
It's showtime.
We are finishing this tonight.
He's got this big line.
Correct.
He sniffs down his big white forearm. You can't see what happens, but a large cloud of smoke goes up. No.
And we have Yogi Cocaine Bear. That's fantastic. Yeah, what else are you guys doing?
Well, I wanted to, as I said earlier, I wanted to delay or prevent the actual auction by yanking cables out from whatever machines that they were plugged into.
Okay, roll criminal.
So if there are lights on, maybe the lights will pop off. At least fail.
Well, it's still midday. It's still midday. So
yeah, but the microphone and the speakers should be out. But I failed, so that didn't work.
You're just pulling random wires that nothing seems to be happening except for sparks like hitting your fur.
Well, I am washed up.
And you're going to need to move 1 point from criminal into bear, please.
All right. I'm going to have to come up with a good flashback. So I'll be back later.
Okay. And then, so, all right. So this is all like starting to slowly come to a head. So Snackleton, you see out of your left, you see these two, what appear to be humans in green suits with like green wide brimmed hats heading in your direction. And then behind them, you see Lee walking briskly to try to catch up with them. And I don't know. Maybe Lee sees you and is trying to signal. Maybe not. I don't know. Like, what is Lee? Are you trying to catch up, or what's going on?
Lee is so distracted, thinking about flashback, the time back in elementary school when her and Lotso were in the same gym class, and he tripped her on the last lap of the race for the class championship. She's just
in Bear Elementary School.
Yes, exactly.
Awesome. Love it.
She's like, I gotta figure out how to stop him from not tripping me anymore. And then and she's just too concentrated on that.
That is very hyper focused. I love it. So yeah, you're slowly catching up to the two that are walking ahead of you. The two are getting like they're really close to getting in your personal space. Snackleton, what are you doing?
Oh, at this point, Snackleton breaks into an all-out sprint for the guy with the briefcase chained around his arm.
Okay. Yeah, you're almost on top of him now.
Like, well, I'd like to just jump and actually be on top of him. When I get there.
I feel like that seems like a bear action, doesn't it?
It would seem. Sure.
Yeah, I feel like that's more bear than criminal, right?
Oh, I rolled a 5 on the dice. That's not going to do it.
Because you're like trying to attack him, essentially, right?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. Which one was it? We said bear, right?
Yeah, I rolled bear. I got a 5. My bear is a 4, so that is a fail.
then you're going to remove one from criminal and put it in bear. So you're just getting more, like your yearning for carnage just keeps increasing more and more and more and more. And one of the guys in green actually catches up to you and grabs you by the scruff of the neck and yanks you back from this guy, and just tries to like yank you and like kind of toss you back down like the stairs and stuff, and kind of loses their grip on your scruff, and sort of like, so they, instead of like throwing you back, they just kind of like end up setting you down right next to them, and the one bear, and then his hat kind of falls off to the side, and you notice that it is a bear, and you notice this one. He is another brown bear, very scraggly, very kind of dirty looking, and he says, it's Snaggleton. And you know this to be Smokes the bear.
Does Romo see this?
No, because it's on the stairs, so technically no, because you're not the closest. Although I would say that Yogi's starting to hear the ruckus going on, so it's starting to get less easy to hide all this stuff all happening at the same time. So Yogi, you have the opportunity to do something. Chad, that's you.
So
if you choose.
I mean, nothing else has really happened behind the stage, and nothing. We don't know where the Manuka is, right? We haven't seen the guy with the briefcase.
Well, you have, like, all you know is it's in a briefcase. You don't know, like, you're not sure that. I mean, maybe you could assume maybe that's probably it. So you're gonna come. We're gonna say, because you just did a bunch of blow, and you're just gonna come from around the corner of the back of the stage, and you're just like, you're freaking amped, and you're drooling, you're like, and you're seething, and you see this bear in a suit, as his disguise partly fell off, and you notice this is one of the rival bears from the rival gang that you guys all hate with a passion, and he just had his hand on the back of the scruff of Snaggleton, and sort of like sets him onto the stairs. So you see all this happen.
That's good enough for him to just, walk up, and I guess despite the audience, he's going to walk up behind him. He's going to do one bite attack and 2 claw attacks.
Nice.
But
nice.
he will engage the briefcase guy with the more immediate purpose of pulling him off Shackleton rather than going for the honey. So I assume that's
okay. So the suit guy with the briefcase is different from the guy in green. That's a bear that just was pulling Snaggleton off.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Then this is the guy on Snaggleton. My apologies.
Okay, got it. So bear on bear roll.
All right, that's a 2.
Out of shit.
4.
I also got a 2.
All right.
So it's basically, so you guys are just toe to toe, like bear in each other's face, just like rawr, and like snarling and all this stuff. And like some people out in the crowd are like, like they're like, why are they arguing? Like, because they still see disguises, right? So they don't know any better.
While they're engaged with each other, Snaggleton wants to use this chance to climb on that guy's back and start clawing away his clothing that's there.
Oh my God! On which guy? The guy in green?
Claw into the clothes and try to rip them apart.
The guy in green or the guy in the suit with the briefcase?
No, the guy in green that was on me. I'm upset with him.
This bear in disguise. Got it. Okay. Roll bear, please. And Romo, you are now hearing this full-on ruckus.
Yeah,
all of the rest of you are Romo, BB, Ray. All of you are hearing this. Lee, you're pretty much caught up by the stairs at this point.
Is Romo pissed because we've been telling him not to do his plan all along, and at the end of the day, we're just doing his plan?
I feel like he might be. So Snackleton, what'd you roll?
That was a 4, which is a pass for me because my bear's a 5.
Okay. So you can take away one bear and put it in a criminal, and so you go full on, you attack him, and like you tear the shirt, and then like before you know it, there's a brown bear on the stairs, and everybody loses their shit, and people are sitting in their seats, and some of them get up and start to run away in the auction seat section. And then someone's shouting like, help, 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 rabid bear on the loose, rabid bear on the loose. And the brown bear that you've ripped his disguise off of, he's just like, crap. And like reaches into his pocket of his like gnarled up jeans, takes out a cigarette, lights it, and just smokes it for a second. And then just kind of looks around and is like, oh well, fuck it. And he just kind of flicks you away, Snackleton, because you are so small, even though you're like just like kind of rabid and crazy. And he goes up to the like, he grabs the guy with the briefcase by the back of the neck, and just goes and just takes him and like slams him onto the stairs a couple times, and just like and he's like, oh, and knocks him out. And he's just laying there with the briefcase, like sitting on the stage, still attached with handcuffs to his wrist. And he looks over. He looks back at, let's see. He looks back at you, Snackleton, and starts to come towards you now at this point. And then he points at the other green guy, and he says, hey, yeah, go get that box. And Yag goes to run after the briefcase.
I shout out and say, I'll meet you all on the boat. And I start just scampering away from this brown bear that is now trying to hurt me, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. I come around the corner and I see what's happening and say, nobody touches the little one except for me. And I want to engage with I want to engage the brown bear that is trying to attack my friend Snackleton.
Do it. Roll bear.
What do you need me to do? Roll bear.
Yeah.
That's not a success.
Well, the brown bear just kind of laughs at you and goes, and then he goes like takes his paw like this and just swipes at you and scratches your face. And even though you're bigger than him, he doesn't care.
I stand there stoically as if nothing happened and say, "Do it again."
Wow. Wow, that got dark. And he's like, and he just shrugs and he does it again.
And now I want to attempt to put him into a grizzly bear hug and just sort of start to crush him.
Okay.
And that time I got a success.
Okay. So yeah, you put him into he's like, and he's like grunting, trying to get out of it, but he can't as you're bear hugging him. Are we talking like life-ending bear hug, or what are we thinking here?
No, I want to like embarrass him. So like I'm bear hugging him, and then I want to like turn towards the crowd that was previously scared of this rabid bear and just show how he's weak now, and see what the humans think of. I say, look at this rabid bear now. What do you think? But it all comes out as like, crush bear.
Bear. And more people are just running away, like freaked out by it. Yeah, the guy's still on this.
Get the honey.
Well, Snackleton's already took off the opposite direction.
The boat. Since there's no reason to continue trying to make a distraction backstage, I take a bunch of the wires that I had ripped out of the equipment, and I follow the sounds of the commotion, and I see that bear in the green who's going after trying to get the briefcase from the courier.
Yeah.
And I tie a snare with the wires, and I hook his foot with it.
Wow, that's fancy. Roll criminal.
Okay.
That is not a bear thing to do.
Oh, I succeeded. I got a 1.
So you snag
I had a plan for when I failed too.
So you snag it. You snag it,
his foot.
Yeah.
So
you can move a point from bear into criminal too.
Okay.
You snag his foot, and so he can't get to it. And he's like, "Ugh, ugh." So right now, so you've done that. You snagged it, Snackleton. You're sort of you're starting to run away, but you catch faintly that Romo and him attacking the guy that was chasing you. Ray, you haven't done anything. Lee, you haven't done anything. Feel free to jump in if there's anything you would like to do.
I would love to grab some honey. Wherever there's honey.
Okay. Well, you see, so you're behind the stage still, but you can see through the crack in the curtains onto the stage. You can see a guy passed out, face first on the stage, arm out, and the hand is holding a briefcase.
Yes, I will grab said briefcase and pop it open with my claws.
Okay. So as you grab it, you start to pull the guy with it.
Sure, whatever. I don't care.
Okay, so the guy, you're dragging the unconscious dude, and he's so as you grab the briefcase, you pull it off the stage. The guy just falls to the ground, his arms up like this, hanging from the handle, and you open it, and this golden light shines through as the entire thing is full of just these stacks, and they look because they're like manuka. It's like manuka honeycomb, right?
Oh,
and it's just in these protective containers. So it looks almost like gold bars, right? That they're just stacked in there.
You're like Samuel L. Jackson in Pulp Fiction opening up.
Yeah, opening the briefcase and just the glow of light is hitting me. Oh.
It is full, and it is so much this stuff is so rich, and it's you don't even the value of it and how good it is. You don't even need a lot as much as you would regular honey.
But we want
just that amazing. You just kind of, but with you're a bear, so you just kind of break it open. You don't even need to do a lock or anything.
I snap it shut, and I just start. I grab it, and I just start running towards the docks.
Oh my God!
I don't even give a shit that the guy. I'm the briefcase is in my hand. I got the briefcase. I'm going, and I'm dragging this body behind me with on top of the briefcase.
So you're running with the briefcase. The guy's the guy's still unconscious. He's bouncing off the ground as you're dragging him and running quickly.
Absolutely. I don't no care whatsoever.
So Romo, BB, Yogi, you all see him run away. Snackleton.
I look at them and I just give a big nod, this is the shit. We got it. This is it. It's happening. Let's go.
Lee, what are you doing?
Well, I think I saw that if that was on the stage.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, so I'm heck yes. Run after Ray towards wherever he's going.
I'm going on the boat.
Yeah. Whatever. On the boat.
You hear as you're running away, Lee, you hear Lotso go, "Shit, they got it." And then you see them out of the corner of your eye take off in a different direction around the other side of the stage. They're going to try to cut them. They're going to try to cut Ray and the gang off.
I want to throw the guy that I'm bear hugging on top of them if possible.
Okay.
So one of them's also got a wire around his leg.
So roll bear. And while you're doing that, Snackleton, what are you doing?
Snackleton is getting to the boat and pulling the key out of his robe pocket and going to get the boat fired up for this getaway.
Well, you're not a driver.
Get her prepared for me.
I can get the key in there and turn it. Not saying I can actually move the boat, but I think I can start it.
Okay.
Wait, is that rookie starting the boat?
You get a key. You get the key in and try to start it, and it doesn't start. Ray's coming. You're getting towards the boat. Lee, you're catching up. Romo, you take the guy you're barreling and you throw him at Lotso, and it's like, and it's just this pile of half dressed, poorly disguised bears in a pile, like making all this noise. Humans are jumping up and running away, and it is pure freaking unadulterated like mayhem. It's just crazy.
Bearham.
And it is. And then Snaggleton, where are you? Like how close are you? On the boat already? Sorry, never mind.
Yeah, he's on the boat.
Lee, you're catching up. And Yogi, what are you doing? Where are you?
So Yogi was squaring off on the side of the stage with a guy that apparently was comparable to him from the other gang.
Right.
And Yogi says, "All right, I guess I won't fight you like a bear. I'll fight you like a man, though." And he drives the hardest kick he can up into this guy's crotch.
Roll bear.
4 out of 4.
Okay. Yeah, you do it. And he goes, oof, and takes a kick and doubles over. So like there's nobody engaged with you. So you can, if you want, you can head with the rest of the group.
That's exactly what his plan was.
Okay.
Nice.
So all of you converge upon the boat. Romo, Romo, you've got the bucket of honey.
Yeah, I do.
The big gallon bucket of honey. And Ray, you've got the briefcase, and the guy and the bloodied guy is still hanging from the handle.
Oh, I can use my hacking skills to take care of that.
Okay. So
I bite his hand off.
So you go to grab the wrist, and you just yank it, and you just tear like the handcuff through the guy's wrist. It's just really awful brutal and bloody as you pull it. You just go, "Rawr," and you toss the guy to the side, who is 100% unconscious. And so the briefcase is easily accessible now. And all of you get on the boat. And Romo, you see the keys already in the boat.
I started up and said, "Let's get out of here, boys and girls, bears."
All right. And so you start the boat up and you drive away. And as you're driving away, you can see like a bunch of like you hear like some like some guns going off, but it's not like, it's like dark guns, like not like guns, you know. And you hear a lot of voices as some actual real deal rangers converge upon the campsite looking for bears. And you're on the lake. You have successfully gotten the Manuka honey, and you got the big gallon bucket. So you got honey and the big score of honey.
Enough to last us for the next 24 hours.
You did so successfully. So you bears have completed the honey heist. So let's take a quick go around and say, like, because the whole point of the Manuka honey, grabbing that was like, that's like retirement honey. So like, how do all of you sunset your characters, and what do each of you bears do to like live out the rest of your remaining days in the life of bear luxury? What does that mean?
As I said earlier, Romo is a simple bear with simple tastes. He trades his share of the Manuka honey for just your regular garden variety honeybee honey, and he's happy with that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a lifetime supply of rice-a-roni. Like you're good. You got
exactly.
plenty. You got plenty of honey. Okay, that sounds wonderful. Who else? Who else wants to share what they do?
Well, first, I want to say I was like right on the edge of going all bear. Yeah. And had I done that as a black bear, I just would have run away and climbed a tree.
Nice.
I will do.
I was going to say, yeah. So what do you really do now?
In retirement, now that I'm rich, basically, I want to just have Grubhub deliver a picnic basket every day.
Picnic.
Okay. All right. Nice. What does Lee do?
She sleeps in every day.
Well, what changes?
Right.
And she laughs at Lotso's picture that she has
Nice.
in her living room. Yep. It says, haha, I finally won.
Nice. That's awesome. Let's see, we did Roma, BB, right? And Lee. How about Snackleton?
It cuts to Snackleton, and he's in the robe from Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and the top hat, and he's sitting there reading. He's sitting there reading heist books, imagining the life that could have been should he have had to stuck to the life of crime. But this was a one-shot retirement for him, and he's sitting there wearing the top hat, feet up on a log, with a little library next to him.
Cool. Awesome. And what, Yogi, right? You didn't go yet, did you?
Yogi takes his share. Okay, well, I'm headed back north to my village. And he starts the arduous trek of 1,000 miles north back through Canada and up to the northern tip of Greenland, where he came from, and comes back. Okay. He's got but he's still wearing his very tight lifeguard swim trunks that are red. Nice. And uses his honey with a mixture of seal blood to create Cola. Wow. And he's a polar bear up there starting a franchise.
Wow. Nice. Wow. Deep cut. And last but not least, Ray, since you were the one that ran off with so let's maybe we'll give you a little bit more meat on the bone, and we'll say, like, how do you just, you the boat, you get back to the forest, you guys get back to your spot. How do you distribute the honey to everybody and all that fun stuff? And then how does your character sunset out and retire?
So yeah, like equal share Ray's always been about equal share. Everybody's been part of this. So everybody gets their bit, but it's just never enough for Ray. Like, he's got the taste. He's completely unhinged. And, like, while this was a great heist, the next heist was even bigger. And he's always chasing that high of, it's not even about the honey anymore. It's about whether or not he can get the honey. And everything is just worse and worse. The cocaine that Yogi gave to him just made it, like, just completely, like any little, just like, let's just grab some honey and go. Hell no, it's got to be elaborate. It's got to be crazy. And, he's done it all. He's chasing after that everlasting high till finally he is, he's captured, and they put him into a fucking zoo, man. A zoo.
Oh, no. No.
Womp, womp.
Like, all he wants is that better high, but, man, all he's got to do is ring the bell and they'll give him the honey. And that's it. And is this life, man? Is this life? No. I don't even know.
Nice.
I think the next heist is going to be breaking Ray out.
Right.
That was a great visual, though.
Yeah, so... yeah, you've completed
He's just a
honey
schmuck
heist.
in the zoo.
Free Ray.
And great job, y'all. That was fun.
Good.
Yeah. That was fun. It was very stupid. I loved it.
Good times.
It was great.
So then, so Sean, if you, as you announced previously, you volunteered to run something for the next 2 weeks, because then I'll be good to go after that. We can pick back up to Eberron.
I missed it. What are we running? What are we looking at?
Well, he also offered up that if someone else wanted to go, that would be okay too.
I have to admit that I literally the other day I just bought something to help Ukraine, an itch.io bundle, and I got like hundreds of new games to play that I have to like sort through to see what's of interest. But yeah, Sean can do next week, but I just want to know what we're doing.
I'm tentatively leaning towards a D&D one shot, but I'll have more information this weekend.
Cool. And then I will be not in attendance for next week, but I will be the week after, so I can just jump in wherever you are in the story. Good deal. And then we'll go.
Chad, your 20% chance for next week.
Yeah, 20%, 22 and a half, actually.
Oh, okay. Wow.
We won't count on it, but if you're there, you're there. That'll be great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Be a nice bonus.
Sweet.
Right. Cool. So I think that's it. And then we'll go to Eberron after whatever you run, Sean. But it needs to last at least 2 weeks. So
cool.
I'll make it happen.
All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good night. That was awesome.
Yep. Take care, everyone.
See ya.
Bye.
See ya.
See ya.
Bye.
Thanks.
Oh man, what a great closer. This game was so much fun, and we highly recommend it to anyone who wants to play something a little out of the ordinary. Thanks for listening to Wednesday Night Crew. And as always, we'll see you next week. Hello, listeners. Have you been enjoying the Wednesday Night Crew and our real play sessions of Eberron Adventures, along with our special themed one-shots, and playing other RPG systems like Outgunned, Call of Cthulhu, Basin, and Alien the Role-Playing Game? Well, if so, then maybe you should head over to patreon.com and become a patron, just like our first 3 patrons, Sean, Andrew, and John. For just $3 a month, you get your name mentioned in the podcast credits. More tiers will be added as our podcast family grows. Why don't you head over to patreon.com/The Wednesday Night Crew and sign up. You can even sign up for free if you don't want to donate. We're just happy to have you. We hope to see you there. Thanks for being a dedicated listener, and as always, see you next week.